Good morning, friends. I just wanted to make a quick video today, pretty much just ranting about the inventory, which has been fucked since April. And for those that don't believe me on that, I will show you exactly what I mean by broken. And I also want to show a tweet, pretty much a reference to back in May when I brought it up on Twitter, just like, when is this going to get fixed? And apparently it was looked into, but nothing has been done. Actually, one thing has been fixed, and that was the Ring of Stone bug. Apparently, back a few months ago, you could actually use a Ring of Stone, wherever my Ring of Stone is. What you would do is you would wear it, and then within the same tick as you wear it, you would use it on the bank, and it would crash your client. That's not happening anymore. It's really hard to just do this perfectly, but I'll try to show you. So I'm gonna have shift as let's have it as shift as use. So I'm gonna equip it, and then as soon as I do it, I'm gonna try to use it on the bank. See, it doesn't crash my client anymore, as you saw. But there are still two other broken things about the inventory. And before we get into it, I want to just briefly show the Twitter thread that I was sort of talking about it. I just said, or I asked, will the inventory ever be reverted back to its original state, or are we stuck with this garbage forever? Such an unpleasant change. It's been ongoing for over a month now. Ripperoo really helped out with this tweet, giving some extra context. Basically, any chance we can get an update on this, Aiza said specifics in terms of what issues players are still experiencing would be really beneficial. I posted a tweet asking for info a month ago and sent everyone listed in there over to the team. So if anything was missed, I need that info if possible. Ripperoo was so kind as to mention 3 different broken things, which is if you hold shift in one tab, spellbook, prayers, etc., release the shift key and then switch to your inventory, the drop option will still be the default click option without the shift key being held. That is still an ongoing issue 5 months later. Dragging an item in your... This second one doesn't really affect much, although I do have my suspicions that it is the leading problem with the inventory just flashing and kind of glitching here and there. I'm assuming many of you have noticed leaving your bank or opening your bank. Sometimes your items just flash really quick in your inventory, and I think it has something to do with this. I'm not a coder. I have no fucking idea, but I'm just going to guess. Dragging an item in your inventory and then right-clicking the spot where it was before will show that spot as a null item. And this only, I believe, reacts the following tick or 2, potentially. So let's just test it right now. So I have some summer pies. I just figured that was delicious. It looks good. So when I move it and then I right-click here, see how I did it too slowly? It didn't actually pull up. But if I do it a little bit quicker, I think it's the following tick. So whenever you move stuff, wherever it just was, the following tick will have a null. And the reason I think this is responsible for the inventory flashing occasionally, like when I bank everything on like certain ticks. So like, let me just try to pull out some stuff really quick. See that little like jitter? So when I like grab everything, it's like, I don't know, it happens here and there. Right there was the perfect example, that flash. It's not like game breaking, it's just annoying, and it never used to happen predating April of this year. And so pretty much it's really annoying. The biggest issue, however, and you'll notice in my chat, I have basically had to do this. Every single item I bring to Raids 3, which is the one place I've been camping for a while, and it'll eventually be every single place I ever go to, I am switching every single shift option to wield. And the reason is because I just planked to phase 3 wardens, because when I tried to equip my T-bow, it didn't equip it. It tried to drop it instead. And then I died because the skull attack, I did a 5-tick T-bow shot against a fucking skull. And then, of course, you can't really survive it unless you're like prepared to do the floor dodge. But like, who the fuck? Like, I haven't figured that shit out yet. So anyway, basically what I've done is a foolproof way to just fix all this, which I will just show you. Basically, when you have an item, usually it's on drop, as you see. So when I hold shift, it drops it up in the corner. You see that? What you do is hold shift and go shift click wield. And so now whenever you click shift, it'll still be wield. So I want to show you what this kind of looks like. So when I pull out some sharks, I have it on shift for drop, as you see in the top left. Now, if I hold shift and it's on drop, now I go to F3, which is my prayer tab. Release shift. Now shift is completely released. You have to believe me on that. It is released. When I go click F2 to go back to my inventory, everything is on drop still. And I promise, I know I should have had a face cam up and just show the keyboard in front of my screen. But actually, this is perfect proof. Look at that. It's still on Wield Inquisitor's Mace because I manually changed it, but everything else is drop. So this is the problem with it. It's not only the next item you click that's going to drop or do whatever the shift click option is for it. It's the following tick. I mean, it's as soon as you click, that whole next tick will drop stuff. So if I click these sharks really fast, I'll probably drop 3 of them without even clicking shift. You see that? All 3 sharks were dropped. Now it's back to eat again. I don't know what's happening, and Jagex needs to fucking fix this shit. Anyway, so it hasn't affected a lot of people, mainly because, I don't know, I think it has something to do with how I rest my hand on my keyboard. Occasionally hitting F keys, my palm might barely scratch shift. I don't really know all the causes to it, but basically, if shift is ever touched in any way, and you're shifting through your tabs, doing high-level PVM, when you go back to your inventory, occasionally things will be on drop. And I'm not the only one to have experienced it. In fact, that skull on phase 3 mechanic, where you have to hit all the skulls before you insta-wipe, I've seen multiple streamers, including Bodhi, suffer with that same thing, where like they're trying to click their item, and it's trying to drop it, or it's trying to use it, or it's not actually activating. So yes, there are ways around it, and this is the way around it pretty much, is change every single fucking piece of gear to wield so you can never drop it accidentally, which is what I'm doing now. But man, if Jagex is listening to this, if any JMods listening to this, please bring this up to the team. Can we get this fixed? Is it impossible? If it's impossible to fix, please like let out a statement saying, we can't fix it. We don't know the fucking cause of it. It's impossible. Stop asking about it. Then I'll probably be fine and just, you know, get upset for a little bit. But at least I'll have some transparency and just like, okay, they're never going to fucking fix this. So I can just get over myself. But I haven't heard anything of that. It's just been quote unquote looked at, or it's going to be reviewed by the team, and nothing's happened for 5 months. So anyway, just a little bit of a rant. I'm just tilted because I died. TOA, and it's extremely fucking frustrating. So that's all I really had to say today. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one.